What's going on? As you can tell, a lot has changed. The engine is no longer on the stand. The engine bay is now all one color. I think I might have taken a video of the before and after of the bay paint, but I didn't think it was good enough for me to like make a whole separate video about it. But as you can see, it looks pretty good, in my opinion at least. This is the gloss gunmetal gray with a couple coats of clear as well. The clear actually is what really made it pop. The gunmetal looked good, but it didn't have that shine that it does now. Now it just looks wet all the time, which is awesome. I did nick a few spots when I was putting the swap back in, as you can see on the firewall right there, and up top right there, and I also messed up a little right there. That's okay. Most of it you can't see, and I'm gonna touch it up anyway. No big deal. The valve cover was also a casualty to the little lift shackles that slammed into it in a couple spots. So I got nicked there, nicked there, nicked there. Big scratch there. Not a big deal. Like I said, I'm gonna have the valve cover powder coated at some point anyway. So for now, I'll just hit it with some paint really quick and just cover those areas up. Intake manifold, I hit this area right here with like 5 seconds worth of steel wool rubbing, and it already looks that much better. So I'm gonna do the whole thing with the steel wool and clean that up. I'm not gonna paint it, I'm just gonna get the crap off of it. Obviously I need to clean that up. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. Oh, one thing I will mention, because I did not see this online, the power steering setup, I believe this is a dual cam. It might be a single cam power steering setup, but it's not the same. Do you see how the hole opening, like the banjo opening right there, is parallel to this little nub coming off the metal piece? Well, that's not the case with this. Do you see how this is off center? Center, 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 offset. So this won't work. The holes are in different, well, this wouldn't have worked, excuse me, if I kept this. The holes are in different spots, and so the fluid wouldn't be able to flow through the banjo fitting if I would have tried to run this setup that came from my KA. So yeah, I did not read about that online. Not a big deal though. This bolt comes out like so, and then once you pull that out, you can literally just swap the fitting, which I did. So now this has the SR, complete SR setup on it. So we're good to go on that. Was kind of bummed when I saw that, but I was like, I can make this work, and we did, so that's good. I have the nut for that. I'm just not sure if this is gonna be in the way of me trying to install other stuff, so I just haven't threaded it down yet. So yeah, just a little FYI if you run into that problem. But yeah, everything went pretty smoothly. I kind of scared myself because I didn't realize that SRs sit at an angle. I don't know if you did either, but you see how it's kind of angled? I was like, what the fuck? And I couldn't figure out why, but apparently that's normal, so that's good. But yeah, sorry I didn't make a video, like I said, of me putting the motor back in, but like I said, it was drama-free. And I already posted up a video of me pulling it out, so it's literally the same thing going back in. Just make sure you have the swap at an angle. You're not gonna be able to put it in at a straight. It's just not gonna work because the transmission will hit the firewall, and when it hits the firewall, the engine is still gonna be past the subframe area, so you just will not be able to drop it. It needs to be slanted. I'm not sure what degree of angle it needs to be slanted, but enough for you to bring it in like this. That's how it's gonna go. So yeah, and then I cleaned up the interior as well. I'll insert a before and after because you guys probably don't remember what the center section looked like. But And now this is all back on. So this console trim was wrapped in like a shitty "My Name's Kyle" Monster Energy drink wrap. Took that shit off. Luckily it was clean black plastic underneath. I thought it was wrapped because there was like damage to it, but there's not, thankfully. This radio was actually sitting back in here, just like sitting on the carpeting back there, not held in by anything. I bought brackets off of eBay and got that all centered and ready to go, so that's all tight in there the way it should be. So down here I'm going to either get a cubby, or that's where I'm going to run the push button start and the wiper switch if I end up having to keep these. I'm going to try and get rid of these if the new harness will allow it. If not, then I will just run these to right here cleanly somehow. That way there's just not random wires and shit sitting over the car. Everything's in. This, like, another thing that makes me think this swap was low mileage is how nice the shifter bushings feel and how solid it is, because it's a stock shifter and this is like super tight, no slop whatsoever, so that's good. So yeah, that's it for the interior, but I was super stoked on how this looks now with everything back together, because it looks so shitty the way the dude had it before. It's just the little things, you know. So next on the list, we're gonna get the diff back in the car. I haven't put it in yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow, maybe tonight if I have enough energy. Tonight I kind of just wanted to do a walk around and wrap up some little stuff. I don't feel like lifting a diff honestly right now, but we'll see. So I think that is it. I might start mocking up the piping just to make sure everything fits correctly. I bought some corner trim or some like metal trim. So this is cool because you can use like vacuum hose or just normal hose to line this cut where the intercooler piping goes so it doesn't scratch it or nick a hole in it. But this is like actual fender trim liner, and I don't know if you can see in there, but you push it and there's like a little groove and it actually holds there. So this is meant to go there. It's not hose, it's literally, oh, that's a good angle. See, once you push it hard enough, it literally clamps onto the metal. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Might come in handy for some of you. This is actually what I have on my Tacoma fenders because we cut them up 3 inches. So yeah, comes in handy. But yeah, we are getting ever so close to finishing the harness. I thought it was gonna be here Monday. FedEx is garbage right now, so it will be here Wednesday. Today is Friday. So that's pretty much what we're waiting on at this point. I'm going to get as close to ready as we can. But with things like this, you don't want to put too much on and then have to backpedal to move shit out of your way. So you just really have to kind of be methodical about what you're putting back together if you don't have all the pieces. So that's kind of what stage I'm at right now. I'm just gonna plan it out, do small things here and there that aren't gonna dick up the space I need to work, and put the harness back on. And we'll get going from there. At this point, I would say 2 weeks or less is definitely a safe bet that we're gonna get this thing fired up, as long as we don't have any electrical gremlins, which hopefully the wiring specialties harness will negate. So until next time, which won't be too long away, I will give you guys an update. I may take a couple mock-up kind of videos or photos so you guys can see what the intercooler and the piping and the radiator is going to look like. But yeah, as far as like big updates on stuff I'm doing, there's really not much left. So I may do an update once I put the harness in, and then I'll definitely do an update before we start it, just how everything looks all ready to go. And then we will do the first start and first drive. So look forward to that. I'll see you guys in the next one.